episode of Going Forward, the podcast. I got the one and only J Dub in the building.
Y'all know, man.
What's
J
good?
Dub, man.
Welcome,
What's
bro.
good?
Thank you for
All right.
coming through, bro. Appreciate your time. All right, so I want to start right there. Who is that that's saying J Dub, J Dub? Who is that?
A lot of people, was like, "Yo, who is this?" This is Brianna. Y'all probably don't know her. That's Cody's sister. That's from Ruckus and all that. But yeah, I wanted her to, maybe for the best of J Dub, I'll have her come back, do a new one, and talk her shit on there. But yeah, that's her. She made all the shit legendary. That J Dub, that shit go everywhere, man.
Facts,
Right.
facts. All right, so I bet. So take us back to where it all first started. When did you consider yourself a DJ?
2004.
Okay.
I mean, 2004 was when I started really putting out the J Dub. I mean, before 2004, I was, just playing around with shit, but I wasn't like real DJ yet. I just was one turntable, a karaoke machine. I just was fucking around with shit, so it wasn't really about nothing. But 2004 was when the J Dub Part 1 came out, and then I'm, a little buzz here and there. It wasn't in the store yet. I ain't really getting to the stores until like J Dub Part 7. Everything before that was, I'm in the street with it, selling. The first tape I gave out for free. I gave those out for free. Part 2, I started selling them. And then 3, it was in the school in Snyder. I was still in Snyder around that time. So, and then after that, the rest is history. I would say I started getting my name off the ground around J Dub Part 12. That's like late 2005, and that's when I went Dangerous Minds and everything else, and it was through the roof after that.
Facts.
Yeah, Dangerous Mind days.
Word, I definitely had the city in a chokehold.
Words born.
All right, so you did mention that you went to Snyder. A question that I ask a lot of our guests that come through is, what's the difference that you could see in a 17-year-old now and a 17-year-old from when you was growing up, when you was 17 and growing up?
Oh, now is more. You have more outlets, more. You can reach more people in today's era as a 17-year-old versus back then in 17. When you was 17 in 04, 03, you had to just come up and work harder. You had to, get it out the mud. Right here, you could be fucking 14 and do whatever you want on social media and it catch fire like that. You got TikTok stars 9 and 10 years old coming out the gate and going through the roof. You couldn't do that back then. There was no TikToks and Instagrams and none of that. If you was 8 and 9 years old, some adult or whoever had to run your talent up to the higher ups and all that, and that's how you got buzz. But yeah, you have more resources now to come up and come out the gate and be whatever you want to be. Singer, writer, producer,
Gotcha.
all at the young age. Yep.
So for people that don't know, like he said, he dropped his first Part 1, so in Jersey City, I guess that's kind of like how we label out the mixtapes that the DJs drop Part 1.
Yeah, and
Part
let
2.
me note that too, that I came after. Like there was already a Ride Out, Wally Cat, Midnight. All these guys was out. These are the people that's in my, in our generation of DJs. Remember, you got like the Mad Money, the 007, Wimpy B, all that. That's my father. Shout out Big Dog, legendary. But that was one era.
Wait, who's your father?
DJ Wimpy B.
Oh, word?
The legendary
Oh,
DJ
shit.
Wimpy B. Yeah.
Know that.
That's
Shout
how,
out.
when it come to the sound and having my shit sounding crispy and sharp in them systems, I got him to thank for that. Holding on to masters, everything. I got him to thank for that. But, yeah, all these guys was out way before me. They had a name and all that. I came out in 04, yeah, that's when that started. Yeah, but finish you saying, speaking in 2004, right?
Yeah, so that's when you dropped your Part 1.
part one.
All right, so when you dropped that first part one, I know you probably hear the jokes and not the jokes, but you know people like they not make fun, but they always say like, damn, like he on what part? He on part 100, part 200, like you get what I'm saying? So did you think when you dropped that part one that you would be? Because where you at now? You like part 6, 7? Where you at?
60.
60.
That's now listen. That's part 60 solo tapes.
That's not including the collabs and.
Right. So that'd be 60 solo joints, and then adding the collabs and adding the compilation ones where it's like a tape with like 10 of us on it.
Where
I think I'm sitting at about, I was doing the count the other day, I think I'm sitting at 113 projects.
damn.
Yeah, man, it's just,
Damn.
it's a blessing to still be doing this shit. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, clap it up for that one.
Yo, 113 projects, man. That's crazy. But to be honest with you, no, I did not see myself doing it that long when I was on part one. I was just like, damn, man, how I'm gonna crack the door open with this, because I'm seeing like niggas like, you know, E Double and Nelly Nell and everybody else. If this is the time of me coming up, I see how they running the game with the stores and all that. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna crack the door open. But when I start getting to like,
You mean like having their CDs in the store selling them?
right, yeah, because in part one didn't come out in the store. I didn't get there yet. But when people start running around asking who's the J Dub guy, who this, who that, then I started having a little bit more confidence and saying, all right, yo, you know what? I'm gonna do this shit. This shit gonna be keep going.
Did you ever have another name besides J Dub, or it's always been J Dub?
Dice.
Dice?
But listen, right? This is before the time of the Dice that we know.
Okay.
And I never put out a tape under the name Dice.
Okay.
But I had like little shit I used to make in the house. And I used to make little covers on the computer, and I would have it would just Dice, and I'd have songs. I'd do like 2 mixes, and then the rest would be regular songs, because that's all I could do back then. But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's the only other name I went under.
Okay.
And if I could think about it, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, nah, because as long as I've known, it's always been, as far as knowing you as a DJ, J Dub.
J Dub all the way.
Word.
And for an example, you know how like when people have like the other part of their name, it'll be like Wally Cat, Hardest Out, or Midnight Untouchable, or Hood, Mr. Bad Guy. I never had a second
name, yeah. Word.
Right, yeah. It's only just J Dub. That's it.
Word. I'm trying to think. I'm like, yeah, nah, it's always been J Dub. Word.
Now in the new days, now I got that Call Me the Motherfucking Murderer, but that's just the thing that goes on the tapes. But I still don't call myself J Dub the Murderer. It's just J Dub. That's how it's always been. How it started. That's how it's gonna end. You know what I mean?
All right, so there's a lot that I want to touch on. All right, so before I get into that, did you ever want to rap or do anything besides DJing? Was rapping ever in your, you know what I'm saying?
No, because I don't have the backing. I don't have the story behind. I didn't sell drugs. I ain't really been back and forth to jail. I went to jail for fucking parking tickets or some shit. You know what I mean? So like, the story ain't gonna be there.
Word.
I don't have no story to tell you. I know what sells and all that shit. So I can't give you a story about me being in the trap, being in the street, doing that. I could give you the story about me selling tapes off the corner, reeing up and all that shit. I can give you that story, but as a rapper, nah. The other thing I wanted to do was some engineering, and I wanted to make some beats and all that, go to school, get the proper certification, and do the shit the right way. But other than that, nah. Mixtapes my passion, and I do my gigs on the side, like weddings, birthdays, whatever. I ain't in the club like that. I do my own thing. Everybody, you know, they got their wave. Mm-hmm. Either they selling clothes or they got their little gigs at the club or whatever. My shit is still mixtapes to this day, number one. That's my number one love. Like, I keep this shit going. It's gonna be 2030 and I'm still be dropping shit. You feel me? Like, that's my shit.
Word. You got it. You gotta hold it down.
Stick to the formula, man.
Word. All right, so growing up in Jersey City, you stated, you know what I'm saying, you don't have the story that most people would either claim to have, or most people show that they really do have. You know what I'm saying? So What do you think you would be doing if you wasn't doing the mixtapes and you wasn't really locked in at a DJ at that time where we could say a lot of your peers was probably joining the gang? Because around that time, 04, 05 Jersey City, that's when a lot of the gang shit really started to come to Jersey City.
I was with the dumb shit. But in the middle of all of that, I'm watching friends go to jail for bodies and dying and this and that. It only took me to have my first child in 2008, and I'm like, all right, that's it. It's done. Like, I got to make the decision around my kids. So the gang shit, it was a wrap. I mean, I was playing with it. I was in it. I ain't gonna say what block or street so niggas can look at me funny, but you know, if you know, you know. And I was there, and I made that choice to say, nah, this shit ain't for me, man. Like, niggas don't want to do nothing. They don't want to get no jobs. They don't want to get no money. They want to get it illegal, locked up, back and forth. I'm like, nah, this shit ain't for me.
All right, that's fine. You knew what choice you wanted to make and you stuck to it.
Early on, like I'm talking about 18, 19 years old. I'm seeing this shit with my eyes. Like, nigga on the corner that we chilling with, this nigga gets smoked. They go right back to the same corner where he just got smoked at, and yo, that shit ain't for me. I'm like, nah, niggas ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? So that ain't for me.
Gotcha. All right, so let's talk about these crates, cause back in the day they was called crates.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? But now I guess when I got tapped into, you know, cause like I said, we was having this conversation before. If you from Jersey City, I feel like you had to try to DJ at least one time.
Let me tell you, it's like what it is now, and then when we actually went to the stores and brought records, $5, $6, the singles that came out, and fucking going to buy the albums versus now where you could just download shit, no crates. This new era don't understand what it was when it was time to do a party and you had to carry all of these crates of records and the DJ equipment. Now they ain't got to do no physical work. When we say hard work, the hard work is really like you was lifting up speakers and crates and putting them in the car and all that shit. That's the hard work. They didn't live that. So I ain't gonna say who or what, but I'm just saying in this generation, you don't understand what that hard work was, putting it in that time. That shit was really, really crazy, man. Like, you don't understand.
All right, so cause back then when there was a time when you DJ without a laptop, right? Or
Yes. Listen, I'm gonna go and say back then you had to have a tape deck, a CD recorder. That's if you recording the CD or if you're gonna put your tape on CD later, or you know what I'm saying. We had the sampler, the echo chamber. Shout out to everybody that had a Gemini sampler with the big button. Come on, if you ain't had that, then you don't know, man. You wasn't outside it. But there's no screens, there's no computers, there's nothing. We got records. We got the turntables. And a lot of times, most people, they came up just doing this shit on one turntable. You got one turntable in the mixer right there, and they doing this shit like that. Make the double beat off the sampler, and then go back over it with the acapella, and that was your mix. And then if you had the track board, you fuck it up with the track board, making some crazy shit. But other than that, yeah, there was no computers, there was no screens. This computer shit started coming in about 2005, 2006 time. And then how you got all these MySpace DJs and then SoundCloud DJs, and you know what I mean? It just took over.
okay. All right, so it's fair to say that you was able to you kind of got the best of both worlds, because you dealt with the crates, and then you was still in it doing your thing as it transitioned over to, I guess, let's say the digital side.
I was in both eras. I was in the era of the pause button, when you was finished with your mix on the cassette. This is us recording to the cassette. We didn't have an option where we just made a bunch of mixes and we chose the order later. You had to make your mix onto the tape as you were going.
Oh shit!
And you had to pause the tape, come back, and you figure out the mix that you want to do next, and then you continue recording after it, and you had to go like that. Now, today, you could just make mixes, a bunch of them, and decide the order that it has to be in later. Speaking of the legendary, my father, you know what I'm saying? He started in '87. So when he was doing tapes, there wasn't no figure it out. There wasn't even no pause button. You press record on the tape deck and you do a live mix.
That's
all
crazy.
the way across on one side, then you do a live mix all the way across on the second side. And you had to change acapellas, beats, instrumentals as you went on. Everything had to match. The BPs, like now, you have a mixtape, a slow song will come on out of nowhere, and then they go back hyper back up to the normal speed, and you could calculate all that in BPMs. We didn't do no BPM. There wasn't no BPMs back then. There wasn't no screen. You just did everything off the turntable. You know what I mean? That's why when the computer niggas be talking about, I'm shutting the game down. I'm the best nigga around. All this shit. I'm like, come on. Like, you don't know half of what you had to do back then.
Got you. So, all right. So, walk us through grabbing your first. What was your first turntable, or your first? What was your first big equipment that you was like, oh yeah.
Okay. See, I come up under my father, so first turntable I ever had was a Technics 1200. Shout out to Kenny Ken, cause he gave it to me. Kenny Ken, wherever you at, thank you, my nigga. That's what got me started. My actual first record was Fat Joe, The Shit Is Real. I just was scratching on that. It's a DJ Premier remix instrumental. I used to love that shit already. Somebody knew that I liked it so much and brought it to me. And after that, I started collecting records, buying shit. Shout out to everybody who knew what rock and soul was, because we used to go to New York, go get that acapella record with the 5 ox on it. Yeah, so they know what's going on. Yeah, that was my first piece of equipment. Technics 1200 turntable.
Did you ever make one of those? All right, so this is kind of go back into the crates, all right? Because like I said, I was one of the lucky ones. Well, I didn't have the crates, but like I said, it transitioned over to the digital, to the folders. So you had to have them folders with the, like, damn, where you get that ox from? You get that beat from? You get that tone from? You get what I'm saying? So what was it like? Because I would have folders that would say J-Dub folder, and I'd be like, hell no, that's not J-Dub folder. I got J-Dub folder, bro.
Yo, you know what it is? It's like when you see that, even in today, like, because there's a handful of DJs that, like, J-Dub folder. I'm like, damn, how y'all getting my shit? I only gave it to this one person, and then come to find out one person sold it to one person, and then they sold it, and then it just went everywhere.
Oh, so it wasn't supposed to be going all over the place.
Nah, it was a close friend of mine who, at that time, we were cool, and our friendship started to go sour, and he said, well, fuck this, I'm gonna go over here and make money off this, and
okay.
And that's how it went.
I thought it was just like a circle of like, nah, like I'm only giving this to you if you get what I'm saying. Like I thought it was.
I had that relationship with certain people in the camp or wherever I was. It was before Dangerous Minds. It was before all this other shit that I had going on that people know me for. But what it was is, I record my records out of these crates. I had a crate of just acapellas, had a crate of just instrumentals, and I had a crate of just tones when I was buying my records. So what I would do, my father showed me this, like, yo, someday all of this, we ain't gonna be using this no more. So you gotta save all of this. So ahead of time, I'm already recording shit into the computer, saving the files, putting them up. And all that hard work, somebody just took it and said, hey, I'm gonna sell this, and they made money off it. And now the formula is everywhere. Everybody got them a computer with a creative ox, beats, tones, breakdowns.
Crazy. The breakdowns that's the key, because it's like, and that's what I wanted to know. Like, what do you remember any? I know the Birdman was a big the hand clapping shit.
That was a big deal for me. The Birdman. That's what really started me. Like, got me off the ground with this breakdown shit. I would say Jugs is the king of that shit. With the breakdowns.
Word. Shout out
Jugs. Jugs, no, he understand. You know what I'm saying? With this break, like when that breakdown era came out, and the I'm the Juggernaut came out, you couldn't go nowhere without hearing that shit. Everybody, now listen, I'm not saying nobody wasn't doing breakdowns before him, but before that time of him making that mix, I didn't really hear nobody too strong on breakdowns like that. He probably was just like, you know, I'm gonna do this shit on the strength of how I'm doing it. I mean, we had Deuce in the camp, Dangerous Minds. He was doing breakdowns and all that shit, but you know what I mean. When he made it his own, then we had everybody doing breakdowns, Fruity Loops and this and that. And I mean, yeah, that's basically that breakdown era different.
Or that bird. So what would you say the two songs that most we was like dissecting? You get what I'm saying? Because I know the Birdman was one of them. What was another beat that you would say?
Infamous Minded, Birdman, 400 Degrees.
400 Degrees. Facts.
Yes. couple of Tales of a Hustler breakdowns.
Facts. Tales of a Hustler. Word.
Sporty Deeves.
Word.
The fuck I look like.
What?
Yeah.
Word.
I'm telling you.
That high. That word.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I gotta say this. The fucking Can't Stop, Won't Stop breakdown. What? Yo.
Yeah.
That was, first of all, Deuce was a monster with that shit.
Shout out to Deuce.
Dangerous Minds Volume 4, he did that, and then everybody had a Can't Stop, Won't Stop breakdown. I think 007 was the first one to actually do a Can't Stop, Won't Stop breakdown. So shout out to 00 on that part. And then, you know, I think we heard that, and then we started making our own shit. Deuce made one, and on the Volume 4, and then everybody else just kind of just went crazy with it.
Word. All right, so we touched on the beats and the breakdowns. All right, so I kind of want to break down each part of a mix just so we could give the people that don't understand what it really is, because I genuinely feel like, okay, there's a blend. That's when you take a beat, a song, two separate beats and song, and you blend it together. That's one thing. But then a Jersey, I can't even say mix without saying Jersey City in front of it, because like a Jersey City mix is just really something of its own. You get what I'm saying? So you're taking the beats, you're doing the breakdowns. Now acapellas. Tell me some of your favorite acapellas that you like to use, and what was the inspiration between picking certain acapellas?
Well, this one it's not an acapella, but it's a tone, but we use it like it's an acapella.
That's the next one I was gonna go into, to the tones.
Yeah. So I gotta count this one in both lanes.
Got you.
I'm gonna say I'm So Glad. That was a Ride Out original. You know what I'm saying? Ride Out came out with the I'm So Glad. Everybody just went crazy on it. Ride Out was the first nigga.
Shout out to Ride Out too.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Ride Out. He know his stuff. You know what I'm saying? He actually. And he informed me with the whole breakdown with the Can't Stop, Won't Stop with him and Deuce. Mm-hmm. He did that in Deuce's house. But other than that, right? The I'm So Glad. Everybody who probably jacked it or whatever, they owe that to him. So I'll give him that one. Everybody, who made up I'm So Glad? Where the regular song at? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Ride Out might not even know. Or maybe he might play like that to let you, because you ain't getting it. But other than that, yeah, he was the originator. Now, acapellas, I would say, shit, man. Between Well, The Robin, Gap Band.
So Sad.
So Sad.
That's what I thought she was going to say.
Tasha Holiday has a whole thing of acapellas of that. Just One Night, Spread My Wings, fucking Don't Make Me Wait.
You know what I think a underrated acapella is? That I don't know. I feel like a lot of y'all didn't use it, but I heard it. But I don't know. Maybe what's your take on it? But Sad and Blue, young.
Oh,
Sad and Blue.
Sad and Blue. Oh man, I love that song. It's just, you know what it is? The BPM on it is like more for a slower mix, like a slower beat. You know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna use it as much as a well, or Robin, or Imagine If I Told You That, or On the Phone, You Can't Stop. Yeah, all them acapellas is up tempo. You can fuck with the BPM a little bit heavy on that. Now, you got them DJs that just don't give a fuck that a chick mop the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Like, these days we don't want to chick mop too much. It's okay if we know the acapella and we did it that way in that time, so it's okay, but I wouldn't do that. Right now, I mean, if I mix Young, Sad, and Blue, it's going to be in that same BPM that it belongs. I'm not going to mix it hyper like that.
I might have to hear that.
I
might need so.
I might do something like that. Like even right now with the newer beats, like I'll say like Glorilla Tomorrow, and a couple of Moneybag Yo beats. All them type of beats fits for that song.
Gotcha.
And back then in that era, it wasn't this type of music yet. It wasn't that them trap beats and all that yet. It was still hyper.
Gotcha. All right, so you heard some of J Dub's favorite acapellas, man. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's fire right there. All right, so now we got the beat, we got the acapella. Now it's time to throw a tone on here. How did that come about? Like, when did, because
The tone shit was way before us. That was way before our time.
Okay.
Like that's the tone shit started really through transitioning. Like when somebody would do a mix on a tape, a beat tape back then, or regular mixes. When they was doing a mix, they would transition to the next song, and as they're transitioning to the next song, it'd have the melody in the background, or it'd have the beat playing in the background, and then they'll throw an acapella on top. That's the birth of the tone era. But now we talking 2004, 2005. We made it our own. We started finding tones from everywhere. Fucking pop music, fucking rock music, everything. We making noises up. We bringing shit. It was a couple tones that niggas made. We talking about like niggas on the piano making shit. I'm like, yo, where the fuck these niggas getting this shit from? But that was the beauty of the game. Niggas don't make their own shit up no more. Niggas wait till somebody else use it, and then they want to bleed it the way they want to do it and make it their own. But if it was up to me, I'd make the shit fun again. We keep finding our own styles and tones and this and that, and make it all love again. But a lot of people, they ain't doing that no more. So it's like that's why you don't see a lot of DJs now doing this shit as often, because niggas just biting and recreating, and they ain't coming out with their own shit. You feel me?
All right, so what's some of your did you mention any like your favorite tones that you like to use, or did you ever make you made your own tones before?
Oh hell yeah! You know what I'm saying? Yo, there's countless. Even with acapellas that I made up, I should have put that in that lane too.
What you mean by that? Made your own acapella?
Now, when I say make up acapella, I don't mean like I actually wrote a song and had a girl sing it. I mean like make people say, "Hey, I want to use this acapella," and this is like, for an example, when I mixed the Brandy, Almost Doesn't Count, all the way 2005. Before that, there was nobody mixing this song.
Got you. You brought light to it.
I brought light to it. So I would say, instead of making up an acapella, I brought light to certain acapellas.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Even when the It Never Really Mattered came out, that was somewhere in the Heights somewhere. Somebody used it. It wasn't really that much of a big deal, but it was hard.
Word. Shout out to the Heights too. I'm gonna let you keep going though, because they had their own style a little bit on certain shit.
Yeah. T.O. Wim, Simmons, all of them, they had their shit, you know what I'm saying, going on. All love, all across boards. But when I found it, bumped into it, I was the first one to have it on our side, brought it to the hill.
Facts, that's a fact.
Then I came in with the Birdman breakdown with it, and it's history. You know what I mean?
Word.
Shout out to Wally Cat, because he actually, when he gave me the shout out on that beat and he redid it over, I was still coming up. I was like coming off the ground with the shit. So I don't even think, I think just the Hill was rocking, just knew about J-Dub at that time. He probably, because he'd been out way before me, he had everything else going on. So it was like, when he gave me the shout out to J-Dub, thanks for this beat. That kind of gave me a little buzz right there on that part.
Word.
Shout out to him for that.
We gotta get Wally Cat up here too, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, so we got a beat, we got an oct, we got a tone. Now, something else that I noticed, and I don't want to shed too much light on, like, because like in anything that people do, there's always like competition. You get what I'm saying? Some people call it beef. I just like to call it competition. But one thing that I did like that came from the competition was how y'all would use certain parts of a song to drop in, so you to set the tone. Like, I like that, bro. Like, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yo, with the beef shit, it wasn't just about making the hardest mix. It was about being creative. Taking a skit from a movie.
Facts.
The most, listen, correct me if I'm wrong. You might have heard this so many times, but when somebody do the beef shit and they take something from a movie, the first thing they go to is on Juice. Where Queen Latifah is like, you need to work on your mixing more. Only a fool open up the way, and like that. And I gotta give credit to Double O because he person that really started the whole skit movie shit, and niggas was going crazy like want to be comedians now throughout the tape and use skits and all that. Yeah, like that was a fun thing. Even I ain't gonna speak on nobody who ain't speaking on me when it was beef and all that, but. To the guys I did beef with, y'all know what's up. It's all fun and games.
Facts.
It's love. I ain't got no smoke with none of y'all. I'm in a new space, but
Facts.
that time was fun right there. I mean, with the whole movie shit. Even now, I still do it to this day, even if it's not no beef. I just take something from a part of a movie. I just did that recently. I did something from Snowfall on one of my intros. And yeah, like if y'all want smoke, bring it. All that type of shit.
But that's why I say it's not even only for the beef thing. I was just using it as an example. But even like for all the rest, all the fallen soldiers that we had, when people will make mixes or tributes for them, you get what I'm saying? The type of tones they would set the tone. They would set the vibe with a certain, like you said, a certain something from a movie or a certain tone. So it's not even just the beef. You get what I'm saying? It's just always how creative it was.
Yeah, not to come at nobody too, but like with the whole rest in peace shit, I think I got that part on Smash on there. I was creating things that, oh man, that when I'm talking about like the rest in peace Kuda, rest in peace Relly Rel, rest in peace June. Like having the guys from the block come through, people crying on the mic and setting the tone for the whole tape, and even skits where the songs, the set it off, all that shit. Like that's crazy right there, man. Like, that was a good time.
It was definitely an era word.
Yeah, everybody did their thing when it came to a rest in peace series and all that. I don't like doing rest in peace tapes personally, but when it's time to do that and show love, and people come to me like, yo, I need you to make the tape for my man, he passed. I'm like, yo, chill, I got you. Yo, for real, J-Dub, I don't want nobody else to do it but you. I'm like, all right, I got you. You know what I mean? All that shit.
That's respect. That's love. Yeah. All right. So doing having people come, whether they were just popping in the city or whether they were just a well-known name, and coming to do those drops and those shout-outs. So tell us a little bit about that. You got any crazy stories for that?
Throughout my tapes, it was a bunch of girls like doing the drops throughout the city.
Was they asking you or was you asking them?
No, they asked me.
Okay.
They asked me. I mean, these days it's different. Everybody got their own lane. They could create whoever they want to be, scribble and write some shit down and all. Now I'm a rapper now, but before then it just was. If we was putting the tapes out in the store, they knew that they could be heard through the tape. They was, yo, J-Dub, let me get on here. I'm gonna. The girls, the chicks and shit. The niggas too, yo, I want to get on your next one, yo. I want to talk on something. You know what I mean? That was the shout out era. That's where we still shouting niggas out. Shout out my nigga, and it sounded cool as hell with the echo, but there ain't no
with
shout
the echo on it. Shout out to my nigga.
To my nigga. All right. But all that's where it was all fun, but all that shit is gone now. Niggas just want J-Dub and then play the mix and then that's it. Done. Man, it's crazy.
Word. All right, another thing, something else that I want to touch on is the ringtones, and chirps and shit like that. Tell us a little bit about your experiences with that.
Oh my God. I mean, what I would do is when I drop the tape, I bring it up to the square because he always had me on request. Like people would come up there with the CD in their phone and say, I want this mix on my phone. The customer's coming up with my CD and giving it to him. So
got the work ready for him.
Yeah, so what he would do is like, yo, I'm tired of people coming up here with the CDs. This is the store on Bergen by the court. No, not by the courthouse. It's across the street from the bus stop by Seatown.
Okay.
Directly across the street, they had the guys selling the ringtones. So every time a CD dropped, he would pay me $300 for one disc, just for me to authorize, yo, make these ringtones off of this CD every track. So when somebody came up there to say, I want a ringtone, and they say, it's the J-Dub, he ain't got to rip the CD to the computer no more.
He got it.
He would, and the best part, the deal was within the $300, I give him the CD a week before it actually released.
Ooh, so he was the plug.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, I would give him like the play sheet of the tape. I would give him like the cover.
Yeah.
And he puts it in there and it says coming soon. And then he will go and sell the ringtones. Now,
that's fire.
This is the part where it all ended because he was selling the actual CD.
Oh, he started. Yeah,
I caught him, and then that was the end.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yo, man, niggas on the street got the CD already. You selling ringtones? What's going on?" Oh no, he little Hindu dude.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not selling no mixtapes out of here.
That's a lie.
He got caught because I sent the little girl in there that I was dealing with at the time to go buy it.
Oh yeah, that's the way to do it.
Send him in there, and he got caught. And I'm like, so tell me you ain't just sell a CD to this girl.
Word.
I fucking got mad. I took the whole CD book, I ripped the shit up, threw it on the ground.
Nah, that's foul though. You especially, you get what I'm saying, you're breaking bread. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, we breaking bread. Now the $300 he was giving me for one disc to make the CDs.
He making way more than that on ringtones.
He was making ringtones 3 for $5.
Exactly.
So people was coming up there every week getting ringtones. And you couldn't just go on your phone and just swap it and say, all right, now I'm going to go get a different ringtone.
You had to delete it and put it.
You had to delete it because now it's space. Yeah, back then. So you had to go up there and get another ringtone. People going up there every 3 days spending $5.
I was going to C.H. Martin. I remember they were doing that at C.H. Martin.
C.H. Martin.
Word.
I had a deal with him, but it wasn't that big like the other one was.
Word.
Yeah.
My boy had deals. He had independent deals. That's fire, bro.
I mean, I was being creative. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, yo, man, if you want the ringtones, but my mind was saying, I gotta make it to where you only could get it from him. So I would make a CD, get a cover done, and just make people wait so I could get that 300. Like, all right,
Word.
He only got the CD. That's the only way you're gonna get it. Go up there. Now, MySpace back then, they had the bulletin board. Like, you would just post something on there. And I say, yo, they got the CD up there, exclusive, go get the ringtone, boom, boom, boom.
Word.
And that's how that worked.
That's fire. That's fire. All right, so what about producing? Like, is there anything else that you want to do? Like, maybe learn to play an instrument? Is there anything musical that you want to challenge yourself to do?
I want to challenge myself to make beats, original beats. I got a lot of friends that's rappers, people in my circle that's rappers, singers. But where I want to go first, I want to make my own sound. I want to go into the R&B field. I want to go into make the R&B beats. A lot of drill beats, a lot of trap beats, all over online. Right. I don't see much R&B music being
R&B
made.
bangers.
Like I want to do the R&B stuff first. Somebody could bring, like how fucking this guy DJ Mustard came and he found LMA. I thought that was fire. Like I want to go in that route, work with some female artists, female rap artists, and then I'll transition over to making my own drill sound, and you know what I'm saying, I'll go to another level with that. But yeah, I want to just attack fields that's not being handled. Like everybody got their own drill producer and all that. I want to be somebody's R&B producer. If somebody's singing, if somebody, they got like a melodic flow that could go on these sounds, I'm with that. I want to go in that field. And then after that, I go back into mastering the rapping and the drill and all that.
That's fire. Yeah, I could definitely say, from my personal opinion anyway, if I was to look at your mixes and the body of the other DJs mixes in here, you kind of always had, like, I wouldn't say the R&B, but it was always kind of like, okay, so let me put it like this. I know a lot of, some of the DJs, there was a lot of heavy, like, styles, the locks, you get what I'm saying? Like, you really stuck with, like, your tones and your melodies was really, like, I guess that's why the girls
you're right. Most of, like, people would use, like, a harder sound in the background as a tone and all that. Mm-hmm. I have a hard-ass beat, and the tone to be pretty as hell in the
Word.
Like some soft shit that'll match the song that I'm using. Like, if it's, like, an R&B song, if I'm using fucking Just One Night, whoa.
That's fire.
I don't know how that even jumped
That was
off.
fire.
That was fire how that jumped off. It just came through.
Word.
But I would have like some hard shit going on playing, and then after that, it's like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna put the melody on it, sprinkled a little tone on it. That's it. And then yeah, I had a lot of hard R&B mixes that niggas remember too. Like, yo, damn, I remember I used to go pick up my girl to this shit. I used to go fuck my girl to this shit. Jay, keep your style. Cause, you know, shout out to everybody who do their thing. I would say, you know, Wally Cat would do all the harder D block mixes and
Facts.
all the street shit. I mostly played like the all around mixes, touch every style. Right out, he the same. Like that's my brother. He probably touched every style. Now, when I say these guys, couple guys' names within my generation, I'm just talking about in my generation. When they go to like Big Time and Nell and E Double and all them, that was a different generation. So I'm not leaving nobody out. I'm not trying to say, you know, they don't count or nothing, but just me talking in this era. I'm just talking about in my generation. That's all.
Word. All right, so being as though now, so now you still making mixtape, you still distributing your music. So now I see that you distribute it on platforms now, right?
Basically, it's not like with Apple Music and Spotify and all that. It can be done, but the hassle behind it is a headache. So what I do is I create my own links. When I'm creating my links, I send them to whoever. If you got iPhone, you got Android, whatever, all you gotta do is just press the download button to your phone. It's gonna go right to your phone, open it up, put it in whatever music player you choose, and it's good to go. It plays straight through like a regular CD. But other than that, yeah, with the music platforms, the split is crazy. Like you really gotta like sit there, wait 45 days to get paid $1 for 1,500 streams to one album. $1. So I'm like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to have it on streaming platforms, Apple Music and all that, but I can make my bread right off the top. I'm not doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
And honestly, bro, like so this is kind of like, it's not really a question. This is kind of just something like I've been looking at because I noticed too. Another thing that separates you from other DJs is that I feel like you're always you're one of the first ones to use the acapella to like a newer song. So like a song that's out right now, like you'll take that song and mix it, and then it's like, oh shit, like he could do this with an old song, new song, you get what I'm saying? So
yeah, like if a new hot record come out, I'm normally the person, I'm not trying to discredit nobody, I'm saying that all over this, but like I'm normally the person that'll grab it first and break it down and do some other shit with it. I hate I'm not a follower. I hate it. I hate if somebody else mix it first and then they do something with it and it's fire, I probably 9 times out of 10 won't touch it. I just leave it alone. Like for an example, when the Tim's record came out, the Free Mind, yo, I didn't hear nobody do that. Now, I'm not saying nobody didn't do it. I'm just saying I didn't hear nobody do it. I put my shit together, I put my seasoning on it, and it became something to eat. The streets was hungry. They like, yo, this is crazy, it's fire. And then it went through the roof. I did that for Diamond, rest in peace, you know what I mean? And Bird is on the beginning, and it went crazy. Even right now, I think it's sitting at like 30,000 plays, 40,000 plays or something on SoundCloud. It's crazy, but you know what I mean? That's how it normally goes. You find a record, it's fire, then you do it. But after I did that mix, everybody got a mix with Free Mind. Maybe it's by default that we have to mix this record now because it's that fire. Even on the radio in New York or whatever, that record was everywhere. So it's like inevitable that you have to mix that shit. But I mixed it at a time that nobody was playing with. That song actually came out way back in 2020.
Yeah, because like the version with her on Future song, that's not even a remix. It's like a beat that somebody sampled her or something like that.
Yeah, somebody that ATL Jacob guy.
Yeah, he sampled
did it over and made it sample. She ain't sing nothing new on that song. They just sampled her and made it their own record.
Cause I didn't even know that she had her own song before. I thought it was just her and Future. You get what I'm saying? I thought it was Future shit.
Yeah.
So so we did hear you say earlier that you do besides the mixing DJ aspect, you also do like gigs, like so people could book you for like a baby shower, wedding, things of that nature.
I would at any time private gigs over clubs. That's just my preference.
Can you tell us why?
The money's bigger on a private event. You know what I'm saying? So that's always gonna be a win. The club situation is you gotta, deal with niggas' egos. You know what I'm saying? If you opening up for a DJ, then you can't play the hottest shit when you the beginning DJ to open up to warm the crowd up. The money split, the club not paying you your required number when they got 3-4 DJs on the same line and all that. Or if you got a stronger buzz and a muscle like that, the club might depend on you to bring the crowd in. And if the night ain't what it's supposed to be, you gonna get paid what they want to pay you because of how the night went. I'd rather not deal with all that confusion and all that. There's a lot of stuff behind the club scene. So when, shout out to everybody that's doing the club scene, but that ain't for me. I mean, if you got it worked in your situation where it's fair and you getting the bag at your required number, then hey, that's what's up. Me personally, I'm getting my private gigs based off my name through mixtapes, and niggas is like respecting it. I ain't posting my business card or nothing nowhere. People just hit me, yo, I need you to do. Alright, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? And it all work out for me.
That's fire.
Word.
All right, so what about the radio? How you feel about because those are all kind of like three different styles of DJing, right? The club, the radio, and maybe like a private.
Well, on
gigs.
the radio, you ain't. I mean, I hear like some DJs up there, they play like a pre-recorded mix, but on the radio, you're not mixing all day. You're playing hot records. Hot records that's out. I mean, shit, what DJ don't want to make it to the radio?
Is that something that you looked at coming up?
No. I never looked at trying to be on radio, but if it did, it did. But my thing for that was I cater so much to the hood, cater so much to my local audience, I never really pitched being on the radio. I'm like, all right, if it happened, it happened. It did, it didn't. But I know also trying to be on the radio, you got to know certain people that know certain people, and then you got to be all on them, to be on next to them, and be on their shoulder to get to a certain level. And I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't beat. I'd rather just fuck with my circle that I normally been fucking with and get money with them and fucking do the gigs I've been doing and keep selling the mixtapes like I've been doing. You know what I mean?
Word, that's fire.
The whole, even with me being consistent with the mixtapes, when I'm dropping all the way up to like 60 and I'm making over 100 mixtapes, that's based off the loyal fan base. If they keep me going, I'm like, damn, y'all want another one? All right, I got you. And I keep putting these shits out. So when niggas, they make excuses of, oh, ain't no money in mixtapes. Oh, I ain't doing mixtapes no more. They just don't love it the same. I love this shit. You feel me? Like, this shit different. Like, if I'm making $3,000 off a mixtape in 2023, that's crazy. Before, we had to split the money with the store. So, like, if we put the tape in stands, and stands is selling it for $10, and you sold like 20 units, you get it, you know what I'm saying? You got to break back $5 off each joint. You get $100 for 20 tapes. So I'm like, all right, you know what? This era now, we got a space and time where we can make all our money straight to us. We ain't got to wait for this shit. We ain't got to do none of that. I mean, there have been times I walked right in the store and gave him the units and he gave me the money because he know I'm going to sell out. There's been times he did that, but, we in this era now where you can just make your money right off the bat. Shout out to everybody else that's up and coming making mixtapes now and they trying to build their name. Keep going with this shit. You know what I mean? It's money if you want to go for it. But if you just like it just for the love, you know what I'm saying? That's passion right there. Keep that shit up.
Word.
The most fun time and period in the era of mixtapes, I would have to go back into like 2009 and 2008 and all that time. But just a lot of Grace Hall and Chocolate City. Yo,
wait, how many? Yeah, I'm bugging for not touching
there
up
it
Grace
is.
Hall, bro.
Grace Hall is something to, I'm telling you.
That was like Jersey City Tunnel.
Exactly, man. I'm telling you, everybody that was somebody was there, man.
You had to, bro.
If you had a mixtape coming out at that time, and then they played your hottest mix off the tape in the party, I was getting calls. I'm not even in Grace Hall. I'm getting calls at home. Yo, they played the Backyardigans mix.
Oh, the Backyardigans mix.
Yo, they played your Backyardigans mix at Grace Hall. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know who the DJ was at the time. I don't know who it was, but old girl, this is the next cell days. This is the church. Yo, they playing your shit right now. Where you at? I'm like,
Where you at?
house. Yeah. They like, yo, they got your shit going crazy down here. So all that, is a fun time.
Yeah. So that the DJ, well, most of the, you know what I'm saying, most of the names that you name, y'all probably like 2 or 3 grades older than me. So when y'all was getting out of high school, I was just getting in, or you get what I'm saying? So during those Grace Hall parties, I was like a year, maybe like 3 or 2 years not old enough to get inside, right? You know what I'm saying?
Because around that time, remember, not just Grace Hall, we had Oxford, Chocolate City. Fucking
what was the one in the square up here?
Oh my God.
That big shit up there. On Fleet Street.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's so long ago. I can't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one too. So, but during that time, I wasn't, because you had to be 17 to get into the party. You know what I'm saying? So,
be at least 17.
I ain't have no facial hair, nothing. I'm like, nah, I'm going to one of these parties, bro. So I remember me and my cousin, shout out Pop, me and my cousin, we on a line. So we waiting in line for like 30, 40 minutes. He getting nervous. He's like, yo, they ain't gonna let us in. I'm like, bro, they gonna let us in. They ain't gonna let us in. I'm like, bro, they gonna let us in. Yeah. And I forgot what DJ, I forgot who we saw walk past. We saw them walk past. I'm like, bro, we gotta go inside, bro. We can't. We get to the front. My cousin was like, and turned around. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Bro, so I actually never been to a Grace Hall party.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you.
On experience on YouTube. Y'all can go to YouTube if y'all want to see what it's like.
Yeah, YouTube, the Grace Hall shit, you know what I'm saying? Minus the times where niggas just didn't know how to act.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Other than that, definitely a good time and place. Right. I mean, me and you, we probably too young to remember the Boys and Girls Club stuff because that's back into the E-double, never.
Word, yeah, I never.
All that days and all that. Then our time was, those
Grace Hall, facts.
Grace Hall and all that, Oxford and all that shit, man.
Chocolate City was hot as hell.
City, man.
Melted in there.
Where he was born. Other than that, the fucking with this whole shit now, you know what I'm saying? People losing love for it. It's not many people dropping no more, but because everybody got different lives. But shout out to the people who is staying consistent with this shit. You know what I'm saying? If you got other shit going on, that's fine. But I see everybody that's moving. Shout out to everybody that's moving. You know what I mean? I don't want to leave nobody out because there's a bunch of y'all. So I ain't gonna just say a couple and then, I get the call in like, why you didn't say my name in the interview? I already know that's gonna happen, so I ain't gonna go ahead and say.
Well, this your first time here, but it ain't gonna be your last. So, you know what I'm saying? Whoever you forget, just make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you can shout them out next time. They'll be good.
This ain't gonna be the last one, man. I just, I appreciate the love and all that, man, having me here and shit.
Nah, definitely, bro.
So it's an honor, man. It's so much that I ain't even get into, but we have a time and place for all that.
Nah, for real.
Even with the rappers and the disses and the females that even came in on my tape, dissing other females and it's so much to get to, but it's in the time frame. I'm telling you, we'll get to it.
Nah, definitely. This is definitely part one of many. Just like you setting the tone. You get what I'm saying? You gonna be my first part. So far I never had no double guests. You get what I'm saying? Like I never had a guest on here more than once.
We're gonna have a series then because
exactly.
This would be the series of how it all started and favorite times. The second series will get it juicy. You're gonna get into the beefs and what started the beef and
facts.
how it ended and are we cool today? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't gonna tap into everything right now, but people that I had beefs with and are we good today? You can find out on the next one. I'ma just tell everybody like this. Those are the ones that you wanna get into the going forward shit because that is gonna be real. I just wanted to get this the groundbreaker right here. What started or what happened? You know what I'm saying? And what's the background? But when you see the next one, whenever it is, you know what I mean, it's gonna be something to talk about. Internet might be on fire with Jersey City mixtapes.
But one thing I did want to say too though is that I could definitely hear you on the radio, bro. Because one thing that one thing that makes you stand out, and it's it's not we don't gotta feel bad to separate you from the other DJs because it just is what it is. But one thing that makes you that makes you stand out is that you the way you talk on the track. Everybody talks on the track, but the way you talk on the track, you know what I'm saying, is smooth. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely see you on the radio. Bro,
I think
for sure.
no shade to nobody. I don't care, but I think I have the best signature. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going against nobody. That J Dub, the way how that thing jump off.
J Dub.
Yeah, I love it the best. Everybody got their own signatures and it's fire, but me being on the radio with my own signature and then dropping whatever records come on and the bomb and I can hit myself doing all that on the radio.
Nah, definitely, bro. I could definitely see that. But you got, you know what I'm saying? Like, the space that you're in right now, you mastered it, and now you kind of like evolving it. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's dope. So for you to bring that to the radio, that'd be fire. As long as you get your credit for it, too. As long as you get your credit and your flowers for it, that'd be fire.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I mean, with just being consistent like this and if it's up to me, I mean, I could have been on the radio years ago. It's just that I wasn't targeting that as a goal. I didn't say, yo, I want to be on the radio, so I need to do this.
Gotcha.
The people around me be like, yo, this person was on the radio. Why you ain't up there? Or that person was on the radio. Or they mix played on it. Why you wasn't there? I'm like, yo, I'm good. I have my own lane. This lane right here, I'm driving this lane full speed because this is what made me me. You feel me? I do my own thing. Me is, if I'm doing my own thing as a person, it would be me because I'm not following. I'm not making clothes. I'm not trying to be in the club next to the next man, or I'm not trying, no shade to them. You know what I'm saying? I like what they doing. That's their wave, but I'm not following that wave. I'll do my own thing. And my own thing is to keep the mixtape shit going. J-Dub, you feel me? That's all it is.
All right, so the name of the podcast is called Going Forward. So I like for all the guests to share their going forward moments. So you as a DJ, if you could share with us a time where you thought, damn, I'm putting this shit down, I'm not doing this no more. And if that thought did come to you, what did you put yourself through, or what happened to you that pushed you to keep going forward? Because we obviously see that you're still here and you're still kicking. So
well, me on the whole going forward thing, I'll tell you, it's just the love from the people who continue to buy the mixtapes. That's what keep me going forward with this shit. You know what I'm saying? There's been times, now listen, I've been on, when I reach like part 30, or I reach part 40, or I reach part 50, like every time I came to those points of those tapes, I'm like, all right, this is going to be the last tape. Or if I get to like part 50, this is going to be the last tape. But the love from each volume, that's what keep me going forward on every volume. I'm like, damn, y'all niggas still want me to drop? I just dropped part 60. And then I just dropped the cook up. And y'all, and they still like, yo, we want part 61. Or we want the best of J-Dub. So going forward, nah, I'm going to keep this shit up. And it always been a thing for me to just rock for, like, if I had one nigga that just brought all my tapes, I'm going to keep going. I have my own fan base that keep buying my shit. So that's why I'm going to keep this shit up, man. For real.
Or fire. All right, so like you said, bro, consistency, man. If you feel that love, sometimes you're not always doing it for the money, you're doing it for the passion. You get what I'm saying? And that passion can overturn into a couple dollars. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But definitely appreciate you for coming through, bro. Like you said, it's not the first time. He said it here. We gonna keep going. So stay tuned for the J-Dub Going Forward series. You get what I'm saying? We gonna tap in, give y'all everything that y'all need to know. You get what I'm saying? And most importantly, we just want to keep y'all motivated. You get what I'm saying? We'll touch on this shit from the past or whatever the case may be. But the most of it knows that we came forward, we grew from that shit, and we gonna keep growing. We gonna keep going. We gonna keep getting to it.
Facts.
All right. So tell the people where they can for the people that never heard of J-Dub mix. Let's tell the people where they could go hear some classic shit at.
You want to hear I'm seeing some hard shit. I would say first thing you want to do is follow the mixtape page, J-Dub Mixtapes. That's the Instagram handle for my music. My personal page and all that, that's the J-Dub 201. That's whatever. That's my personal life. But the hard shit, the mixes, the blends, you want to go to J-Dub Mixtapes. There's a SoundCloud link right there. You're going to hear some hard shit. You want the classic shit, you gotta DM me. Because I ain't just got all the hard classics on the internet. We had that piff down.
Word.
I don't know what happened. It had the classics up there, But now we got to do it on the up and up. You got to holler at me, get you the classics, get to know me, period, through the J-Dub mixtapes when it come to that side. And you'll get to know more of me on going forward because I plan in different chapters to open up more and tell you the whole groundbreaking thing of the whole game when I came in, what's the fun and bad parts, all that. So this is series, this is only part one. We're going to do everything, definitely coming back.
We appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all tap in. Like I said, it's Going Forward the podcast. Follow us on the Instagram, goingforward.podcast. And then make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, Going Forward the podcast, man. We out. Grr.
Yes, sir.